Beyond. I'm your host, Alan Tracy.
And I'm Rahana Power.
And today we have B. Valentino. Is that right?
It is right. Thank you.
Okay.
Happy to be here.
I'll let you say your title of what you do.
Yes, I'm B. Valentino. I'm a hearing interpreter from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Been interpreting for 15 years. I'm nationally certified and hold certifications in 8 different states other than here, where I'm from.
Nice.
That's amazing. It's interesting that there are certification requirements for states individually, although I guess that's the same with like doctors and dentists and stuff like that. So that makes sense.
Yeah, Minnesota in particular doesn't have a license, but several states do. And it's just upon their particular jurisdiction of what they're trying to manage for the industry there. So it's pretty particular region to region. Most of the ones I hold kind of are in the Midwest area for easy travel. But some of them are really obscure, like Rhode Island. Like I have a license in Rhode Island to interpret just because I feel like, well, why not? You know, so just get as much as you can and be as accessible and relevant as you can.
Absolutely. I love that. We've got lots of questions for you about this. But before we do, it feels kind of silly to ask this because honestly, I feel like this is like the reason that we're here is an answer. But aside from this incredible skill and life path that you have, is there anything else that is something fun and interesting about you that you can tell us?
Yeah, so my interpreting career is really exciting. I'm a freelance through and through, so you'll find me here, there, and everywhere in all sorts of sectors of public-facing places. But aside from being an interpreter, I am a part of something exciting. I'm a part of the Burning Man community here in town and at large. Yes, that is a whole orbit of really interesting, wonderful, never in your life could meet another person like that type of universe.
Yeah.
And that is a community I belong to. So that's pretty interesting too.
So we do Burning Man here.
Yeah, what?
I thought that was only like you have to go to California to where the Burning Man lives. I don't know anything about Burning Man.
Yes,
I didn't know that happened here too.
Yeah, so Burning Man at large, the Big Burn, we call it, happens in the Black Rock Desert in Utah. And many, many states have a regional Burning Man, which is just smaller scale, easily accessible financially as well, and usually a shorter duration. But they follow the same principles to a T that Burning Man does. That's the only way they're sanctioned to have their own event at a small scale. So it's the same community types, but they're more accessible. You'll meet them in real life again after the weekend because they're from your area, no doubt. So yeah, we have our own Burning Man event, and it happens in June every year. It is in its 14th year. It's called That Thing at the Cabin, or TTAC for short. And I've been going since 2017, and I've gone to the Wisconsin one and to the Iowa one, and they're all different points of the year. But Burning Man proper, Big Burn, happens literally in a couple of weeks in the Black Rock Desert, Nevada.
Hey everyone, we've got 20 plus episodes up for you now on our Patreon with lots of fun chats, some really great guests.
Yeah, and join for free and get extra episodes for as little as $5 a month. You can join in the link in the show notes. Check us out at patreon.com/filmandbeyond.
Do you go to that one too? Or do you stick primarily here? Yeah.
Yes, I have. It's intense. It's the environment trying to kill you.
I believe it.
It's 80,000 people. It's a pop-up metropolis for 8 days in the desert, and then it disappears. And there's something really magical about it. And it's a wonder and a treasure.
Oh man, I bet this time of year it's just got to be 1 trillion degrees too.
Yeah, it's like 103 in the day and like 50 at night. So you're wearing furs at night and you're wearing a lot less during the day.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right.
Oh, so fun. What an experience though. That's very cool that we do that like here, and I mean everywhere has like their own little regional events because I can't imagine that it's super affordable to take a week off and go fly out there. For anyone.
Yeah, drive, pack your food and the things you need to survive in the
Yeah.
desert for a week. Yeah, you
Right.
can totally go on the Burning Man website and they have like a little regionals tab. And if you're wondering where you live, you can find out if there's one near you. It's a pretty slick little tool.
They
That's
do
so
have
cool.
a website. Okay.
I love that.
Mhm.
Okay. So,
Yeah,
you're an interpreter, which I
I
think
am.
is amazing. Um, what got you started into that?
Yes. So growing up all my life, I moved a lot with my family. My dad was in the corporate world. So I
Mm,
went to 8 schools in 12 years all over
mm,
the country. Some of those states were 5 cities in Minnesota before I was 6 years old,
wow.
and then twice in Ohio, Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Massachusetts, and then back to Minnesota when I was 15, starting my second high school. Once I got into high school here in Minnesota, I was exposed to my very first ASL class. And that ASL class was taught by a deaf person. And I sat front and center, and something in my molecular level brain was just clicking and taking off. It was so, it was coming to me so quickly, so naturally. I couldn't get enough of it. It's as if I was language deprived and I
Mm,
had discovered the answer for communication. Something in me felt that way.
Hmm.
And as soon as I was able to get as much as I could out of this teacher and all the levels that she offered, shout out to Karen Jerzak. She's a retired teacher, but she was the deaf woman who first exposed me to ASL. Um, as soon as I got through all the classes and courses she offered, I immediately went into an interpreter training degree right out of high school. One of those lucky kids who doesn't
yeah.
really often know what they want to do, but I did.
Hmm.
And I was going to go right for it. So I got my first degree in interpreting and transliterating in American Sign Language at 20 years old. And
Wow.
that opportunity just has been nothing but launching and escalating ever since. And it's such a gift that she has given me and that the deaf community has given me access to their community, access to their language, being a steward of the message. It's been nothing but a joy, and I feel really lucky to be here. So I've been interpreting since I was 20 and I got certified, nationally certified, which is the equivalent to like the bar exam for law school.
Yeah. Hmm. Wow.
Just as much of a passing rate, by the way. Very
Really?
difficult to achieve, yes. And
Oh.
it's the highest regard of credential that we could have in our field is the National Interpreter Certification, or the NIC.
Hmm.
And I finally obtained that after years of practice in 2018. And then I started to acquire some more different state licensures and different things. And we're only going up from here. So I credit it all to her. From high school at 15 is when I started and was exposed to ASL.
Wow. That's incredible. I love that it like just clicked for you when you're just sitting at, like as a high school student, as a kid who, I mean, everyone, at least in Minnesota, like I, you're a little younger than me, but roughly, same high school years,
Mm-hmm.
like we had to take a language. I hope
Mm-hmm.
kids today do too. I certainly don't remember any of what I learned. But I love that like it clicked so much for you when a lot of kids are probably like kind of half in, half out, not like it's a
Mm-hmm.
requirement. They don't, and that it like had that big of an effect on you. I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's really magical.
Thank
It
you.
Yeah, sorry, I just feel like I'm gonna keep going. Alan, you can go ahead.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
It's all
it's
good.
um gosh, so age 15 is when you started to learn it really, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's right.
So through high school you're learning, and then was there a gig along the way that you were able to then interpret for, or what was the first one of those?
Yeah, after I graduated from college with my interpreting degree, I was
Oh,
hungry for
degree.
anything.
Mm,
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I was super hungry for any sort of opportunity that anyone would give me. I really wanted to show up and show out in the
yeah.
community and like start working, like really do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I found myself in the first few years of my career working post-secondary. So different colleges in the Twin Cities area, primarily trade colleges.
Really?
So my very first years of experience with interpreting were in specific trade fields, such as machinist, such
Mm-hmm.
as automotive, and welding.
Wow.
So, jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah.
I really started the ground running in technical trade
Wow.
education, interpreting for students that were in that degree path. And so it was really something challenging for the brain and really a wonderful experience. And I got a plethora of different program types. It wasn't just the trades, but it was like, I had a photography student start to finish. I had a vet tech student start to finish where the interpreter is, dressed up in surgery, like with their deaf student.
That's going to be so hard. I mean, they're saying
yeah.
words that like no one but a doctor, like Grey's Anatomy terms.
Totally.
And you're just like, I got this.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes. And we can't effectively interpret into sign language what we don't understand in English. So I am right alongside the student in learning the course content just as they are right through it.
I bet.
Yes.
So you know how to weld and how to
I know.
make welding
in theory.
And is there, I'm just curious,
Pseudo.
like out of all the different kinds of like subjects that you've interpreted for, is there one that you enjoyed the most, like learning about from scratch, maybe more out of any other?
I do feel that the veterinary technician assistant program that I was a part of in service was something that was meaningful to me, just as an animal lover and a pet owner, and just to see the compassion and care and consideration and the major science behind how sick animals are cared for. Felt really special to me. And it was just such an honor and a privilege to be alongside the student in their educational journey. And I just thank my lucky stars every day that, I've had the opportunity to do something like that. And now I have an understanding of both sides. When I'm sometimes the client with my pet on the other side of things, I see how some of those procedures work and understand the skills needed behind some of them. So that was kind of important to me to know and meaningful even all these years ago.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to go back really quick to when you were in high school and you're learning. So you're 15. Did your school offer levels all the way up through graduation, or was it, they only had a couple of levels and then you're just trying to continue to practice it and make plans for when you graduate to get your degree from that point? And even did they have opportunities where you were like, hey, I need to practice. So at this, I don't even remember what they're called, where everybody goes in the gym and they listen to somebody, but like things like that, where they're like, hey, we need someone to interpret. Like, so for class, you can, practice and be the interpreter or something like that. Anything?
Yes. That's a two-part question. So the first, and we've lost my light. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Is this
I had a
technically difficult evening? Okay. So
I'm gonna work on getting that into where it needs to go by the time that we answer the next question. Okay. First part of that question was what were my levels that I got to experience as my high school provided them. We had levels just 1 and 2 for ASL. We had German, Spanish, and sign language, but German and Spanish, lucky ducks, they got like all the way up to levels 4 and 5. It's like, ASL is the 4th most used language in the United States, and German isn't in even the top 4. And I wonder about this quite a bit. So we had at levels 1 and 2, just rudimentary stuff. But somebody that was a really motivated student like me obviously asked for more opportunity of what we could do. And in my particular schedule for my senior year, I did have like an open block or semester part of my day where I could have an independent study. So me and my professor, we came up with like an ASL 3 independent study, which meant that I, for the entire duration of the semester, worked on one project, which was a recorded DVD of myself and my skills, showcasing things like a monologue, a dialogue, a music video, song that we would sign, interpreting a news article, showcasing an ABC story in ASL and a number story in ASL. And it was an accumulative project that I created on a DVD with a little insert with lyrics and the words and everything perfect, designed the cover, and it was like a pass fail type of project. And it was awesome. I still have it to this day. It's in my vault downstairs with my birth certificates and passports and everything like that. I'm not joking.
As it should be.
There.
Yes.
Yes. So we loved doing that, and that was great. And that felt like a really nice bridge into entering post-secondary world of becoming a college student for the very first time at 18 years old. From that experience and from deepening my skill set in high school with a deaf professor, I was able to test out levels 1 through 3 in college. So I didn't even need to take ASL college level 1 or 2 or 3. I had a test out situation, which is directly related to the benefits I had in high school. That was really cool. And then yes. And then the second part to your question was, did we have like space for practice and application?
Yeah.
We did have one constantly pushed little resource in our class and over the years, which was, it's still running today. It's in the Har-Mar Mall, Barnes and Noble. Every Friday night from 6 to 8 o'clock at night, Friday nights, is a conversational ASL gathering. So you'll find there new students, deaf folks, interpreters, different figureheads in the ASL community. Whoever can come can come. It's open invitation, standing appointment, Barnes & Noble Har-Mar, 6 to 8 Fridays. And so you better bet that when I was in high school, I went like every Friday. I was so dedicated to continuing learning the skills and learning the language. And I really do credit that to a large part of my progress when I was just learning. It's still running today. And that was, that was almost 20 years ago. And it's still today, still running today.
Wow.
Oh, that's so cool. I had no idea that they did that. And I love that they do that. That's brilliant. And, having an event that's so recurring and dependable for a group that otherwise is just not, probably doesn't have a lot of things like that.
How do you access language if you don't practice it or see it? Yeah, it's a voice off experience. So no one is permitted to use their voice in these 2 hours of conversational gathering. And that's very important for learning the language.
Yeah.
Another reason why I tell, please, please, please learn ASL from deaf people. It is their language, their first language. And people who are hearing or interpreters, they just don't have the same agency to teach that first language like deaf people do. So to really immerse and learn, it should be a voice off class or voice off gathering to continue learning that way.
Absolutely. That totally makes sense.
Right.
I know this isn't one of our like questions that we've discussed and everything, but just curiously, if for anyone who maybe is older, but interested in learning at least, basic starter communication, I'm mostly thinking I was at a store, I think it was over the holidays, and the poor like cash register person is like, they're bringing people up and like probably had the longest stay of their life, and they were deaf, and so they had like a little sticker on their name tag and everything, and people aren't paying attention to that, trying to talk to them, being relatively rude at times. And I'm trying so hard to download an app and like try and figure out how to like say hello and thank you, because I'm like, I have no idea, and people are just being awful, and I'm sure that I did it wrong, and that poor person was like, what did you just say to me? But like for someone who maybe just wants to learn like the start of, like the basic greetings and things like that, what would you recommend?
That is such a great question. And I finally giddied up and created a little memo on my phone that is full of resources, because I get asked this question a lot, and I can just airdrop it to the person that's interested. And I could just rattle off just a few little resources that I have them divided by YouTube channels and Facebook specific groups, deaf content creators, different apps. And this is something I love to share with people. YouTube, a couple of examples would be a person named Bill Vickers, Vicars, Vickers. He is a long-standing resource of ASL specific vocabulary. His YouTube channel is really like long-standing and robust in all of the resources he offers and his teachings. ASL Nook would be another one for YouTube, another great resource. Facebook groups have things like Sign Language 101, different groups. ASL Connect, which is another page meant for question answer, usually a mix of deaf people and hearing people asking questions, giving answers and expertise. There's a lot of community ed courses that are circulating around Facebook, like free Zoom classes for 6 weeks. Really? Learn ASL basics. And I am a big person to just constantly just reshare that kind of stuff. I have people go, oh, I've always wanted to learn. I'm like, learn, you can start tomorrow, you know, like you can do this. You can actually do this. This is accessible. Some deaf content creators would be aslsuzyq with the letter Q. The ASL Lab would be another one. ASL Connect, the ASL Shop. And then the primary app specific that a lot of people like to reference is called Lingvano, Lingvano, Lingvano. And that is a exclusive ASL learning app, a lot like Duolingo.
Okay, very cool.
And we'll provide links in the show notes also.
Absolutely.
Yes, definitely.
Amazing.
I'm so glad you asked. It's one of my favorite things to talk about is sharing the wealth of knowledge to just get started, get motivated.
And to that end, have you done other work besides interpreting, but also interpreting in the sense of like for hearing impaired via, like for instance, film has like closed captioning or audio description and or localization type of thing? Or
for sure, yeah. First and foremost, I'd love to address that the newer and preferred language is hard of hearing or deaf. Those terms are definitely, it's no worries. It's corporate language a lot, so people aren't really sure, but the preferred language in the community is hard of hearing or deaf. And as far as the other types of services for accessibility, I have not done any closed captioning work or CART work or audio description work, but I have worked alongside of those individuals. And it's such a joy to see when any production or any event or any means to be more accessible, like pulls in more than one provider like that. It's just like, wow, they have the full scope of how to make things accessible, and we love to see it. So haven't done it myself, but have worked alongside plenty of people that do.
Yeah. And the reason I thought of that too is like Sinners recently had something like that for Max on Max or something, where it was like an type of interpretation. So
yes, the like on HBO right now there is Barbie movie ASL version. There is Minecraft ASL version. There's Beetlejuice ASL, and it's not even in like intruding to the movie. It's the movie as you know it, but there's a green screen interpreter at the bottom right corner for the whole movie, and it's awesome.
Love that.
Another way to learn, sort of. It's like, because then you know the movie maybe, and then how do you say whatever they're saying?
Yes, and even if like ASL might not be your jam, put it on in the background while you're doing laundry, because HBO keeps track of those numbers of how often that version is being watched, which makes the pilot take off even further, which makes those resources be in more high demand because they see that people are watching in that version.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I know. I feel like everyone has been, there's been like a tick or a jump in like people watching things with closed captions on. And maybe it's just because they don't want to, they're trying to save their ears and not have things too loud, or they might struggle with like having a lot of different sounds coming at them at once or whatever. But so I feel like a lot of my friends are doing that with they're going to put it on, they're going to have captions on because they just need it. I'm like,
Yeah.
But if we, instead of doing that, if we watch the ASL version, we could start to learn the language and then I don't know. I feel like it's a better, I don't know. I think that that'd be a cooler way to go about it.
Totally.
Instead
I
of that.
completely agree.
Yeah.
If I'm following directions somewhere in my GPS, I have to turn down the radio
Yes.
to understand the GPS. You feel me,
Exactly.
right? We're in the
Yes.
same camp. Yes. I get it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
The volumes never seem to get in the right
Yeah.
space. Yeah.
I had to also didn't have to. I also changed the voice of Siri so that she's Australian because
Oh,
it like stands out so much more from anything else that's on the radio that I can like pick it out and actually. So I mean, it is things that maybe we're just so used to certain sounds or like we watch certain movies and so we're just used to that. So having something new that we're learning or starting to absorb, I mean, that could make all
yes.
the difference. So absolutely.
Totally. Yes.
Um, okay, what's your favorite thing about the work that you do?
It's honestly the fact that I hold an immense responsibility to be the conduit of information between me and two worlds. It's it's truly that immense responsibility that I've gained and been afforded and been granted to do is that um, there is bridges of access happening because there are service providers or means to do so, and people can connect that never have could have before or struggled to before. Now there's clarity in that, and it feels like such a gift to be a part of the experience and the team that makes those connections happen. The other favorite thing I love about it, about what I do is like, I'm a true freelancer. Like you can find me here and there and everywhere, often on a performing arts stage. That is like the breadth of my work. I work in music, in concerts, I work in theater, I work in street art, I work in circus, and that swath of performing arts is like where my heart really is in my work. And but like like you can find me there, but you can also find me in a clinic like the next day, or interpreting a beekeeping workshop in the evening later the same day in full beekeeper suit. Like it's
Whoa.
the coolest thing. I love the fact that I do one skill set in infinite industries.
Yeah.
This is the formula for no burnout in what I do, is the fact that I have infinite industry opportunity, but it's one skill set.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, like you can like the vast experiences that you're able to have and go through and that so many people never would because you're living your one passion. Like that's so cool. I feel like that's what a lot of actors say is like, well, I'm acting, but I can be anything. And it's like that, but in real life. It's like, yeah, but I get to actually do anything.
Yes.
And be helping people at the same time. And
Yes.
that's I love that. Oh my goodness.
Thank you. Yeah, it feels very adjacent to how actors feel. And I think that actors can also agree that in the same industries, we both have like vicarious impacts from our work. So it is so important to care for ourselves at the end of every day, that we kind of remove and clean out our lint trap from the vicarious experiences that we've gotten the privilege to be a part of. While some things may be heavy and some things may be extremely challenging and some things may be incredibly lighthearted and like wonderful, we have to clean out our lint trap every day so we don't take that with us,
Yeah.
And so I think actors probably feel they must do the same type of practice.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever, so I'm thinking of, and I can't remember the specifics of it, but I know I've seen just reels, videos of I think it must have been like a stand-up comedian or something who had an interpreter like on the side of the stage, and they are like, once they realize, they actually like see what they're doing and realize you had to just sign this joke that was absurd, like, and then they're playing with them about it, knowing you're gonna, yep. Have you ever had an experience like that where it might have been so just lighthearted and funny, and you're like, okay, it's very serious, but also inside you're just like, this is hilarious and amazing, or that just kind of like fills you up in a way like that, where you're like, this is such a goofy experience, what is happening right now?
Totally. Yeah. So I've interpreted for a few national act comedians, and a couple of those experiences we've absolutely been spotlit and been kind of made to be a bit. Yeah. And it's there's two camps of people, that interpreter camps, that feel certain ways about when that moment happens. There's interpreters who are very prepared and very ready and almost looking forward to the moment that the comedian notices there's a service provider there. And they can't wait to be redirected to, and they're going to be so hammy in that moment. They're going to they're going to give them what they want. They're going to give the people what they want. And then there's another camp of interpreters who are like, I'm an invisible service. I wish to remain an invisible service. And like, please don't pick on me. Like, please don't make, I'm just trying to be you right now. I'm trying to do this.
Right.
I'm just trying to be you. Like, please don't make a bit about me, because then I have to drop form and I have to like respond as myself. And it's like a whole complicated thing. So yeah, that happens, still happens all the time. And I've seen the viral clips. My friends are like, have you seen this? I'm like, yes, I have.
Of course.
a couple, 2-3 times. And but yeah, there's two schools of camp with that. So comedians are going to just be comedians in that way. And it's all up to them how they respond.
Yeah. And I could definitely understand both camps, because I mean, it could be fun to be, to play with that and spotlight the fact that, yes, I'm doing this here, and like your audience is like here also watching, like I'm helping them to be able to enjoy you. You're welcome. But also like, it's still a very serious job, and like you have so much care for it that you don't want to lose that and become a joke versus the very serious thing that you're very proud of doing, and it's important.
Yeah.
So I can absolutely understand both camps for sure.
Yeah, exactly. That you're exactly right. We do tailor our needs dependent on who the consumer is. Whoever the consumer is, you can kind of feel out, well, if a deaf person's coming to a comedy show, I think they might be pretty well versed in how the fact that the comedian might pivot to the service, because usually they're moved pretty close and we're pretty visible. So it's all dependent on how they react. We really want to follow their lead in that respect.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow. And then, I saw you at what I called the Corn concert, but you might call it the Gojira concert. So we were talking before the pod here. First off, let's talk about that experience. Tell us about that.
Yes. So I work at pretty much most of the major stadium arenas here in town.
Great name for the new X.
Yes, right. Yes. And a lot of concerts, national acts come through. And my favorite music group of all time, Gojira, is a metal group from France. And they were supporting acts for Korn. Came through last October. And I was already set to be a patron. I was going to that concert myself anyway. Bought 2 tickets in the ASL section, just in case, just in case. And then a request came in for me to interpret that concert. And it was a dream come true, because Gojira is like tippy top of the list, like bucket list moment, joyful moment for me. And in that, I got to give the tickets to my husband, and then my son, my 9-year-old son, who's wearing my Gojira hoodie, like in big size, cool. So cool. They got to sit in my section and watch mom kick ass.
So cool.
It's just the best. And my favorite thing about doing performing arts stuff is a lot of the things that I say yes to are pretty much 100% of my work because I am a fan first and I'm a service provider second.
Okay.
So that really shows up and shows out when I get the chance to prepare and rehearse and interpret a concert, is because I'm a fan first. And so it shows. So Alan saw some, I think, shared story footage of me working. And I got sent from different angles all over look at the interpreter, look. And it was like, oh my God. And I was going ham. It's my favorite.
So you're still able to enjoy it and like be kind of jamming out while still being very
got all
clear
the angles too.
And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was just the greatest. I don't say no much to musical acts. Like I don't have like country's not exactly my thing, but I will, and I will absolutely provide access for country, but you'll see that service provider role first and then, that's kind of how that goes.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I get to say yes to things that I'm requested for because people know that I would be there anyway, type of thing. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Thanks.
For something like music or like theater, maybe even, it's this is where it gets interesting, the interpreting of it. Like, how do you describe music to a deaf person? Because if we break down sound, it's vibrations, it's things, that's what hearing is. But then that's not there. How do you interpret the sounds you're hearing from like Gojira or
yeah, so there are different levels of skill sets that interpreters could choose in moments like that. Like, gosh, there's so much instrumental right here, what could I do? And some interpreters might default to going like music,
okay,
music happening, music.
Wow.
Or you could pivot to the more performative side of things, which is like bow, bow, pick scrape, like you could really showcase the exact instruments are doing what, and then you can go into it like that, and that's a choice. And then there's like a blend of both of those in between, all depending on your audience, all depending on the vibe. Like you can really like lean in to one or the other. But we, in interpreting music, we go for meaning. What does the song mean? What is the song about? When I prep my music for each song, I will write by hand, like on the top of my printed lyrics, like 3 or 4 like key phrases or words that are about the song meaning. So I can take my eye and like reference, this is the meaning. Stick with the meaning, not the words, but the meaning, and follow that. So those are helpful things along the way to make that experience more encompassing for the deaf person.
Yeah, it's like not word for word, but thought for thoughts, interpretation of that thought or
concepts,
feeling, or concept. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's right.
In interpreting music, have you ever had an experience where it's maybe something I just keep thinking, I'm thinking back to like Taylor Swift. Went to her concert. She has a very vast array of genres that she covers, and some of her songs are very very poetic, very in her feelings. And there's a couple that, especially if it's like about a family member or something like that, it can get very emotional. Have you ever interpreted music for someone, or maybe even like some performing art theater or something where it has been a very peak emotional moment or something that's gotten like you teary-eyed or in your feelings at the moment? And how do you just let that happen to continue showcasing like this is what's going on right now, or do you try not to?
We are but human conduits, and so some things really strike us based on our own life's experience, and it is kind of a direct yet indirect mandate of our profession that we are to remain neutral. But is in any sense music ever neutral, or is theater ever neutral, or are music and theater's goals ever neutral? Not really. So I had a prolific experience with really being touched by the lyricism of Billie Eilish when I interpreted Billie Eilish's tour here in Minneapolis or excuse me, St. Paul. And
in November,
there was
24. Oh wow.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. So she had like a 2-night appearance, and we were on the docket for both nights, and it was so cool and so awesome. We haven't had nods in our dress choice, like that were like kind of Billie-ish, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, that's part of it. You want to, you're a fan, right? You want to be there like that. But I absolutely had a choking up moment. Nothing really dramatic or serious, right? But there, I mean,
like hit you.
A tear fell at the last line of the song. Yes. It was like that. And so, you feel it. It goes through your body, your literal aura, to be able to be interpreted in a way that's compelling, that they feel it too.
Right.
Not like this, but like this.
Yeah.
And so you can't help but have that kind of pass through. And so it totally did a time or two in her recent tour for me.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That feels like that adds to it. That's almost like when you're putting emphasis on certain words that you're speaking, like to imply the dramatics of something, or yelling, or just something like showing that emotion, like helps to emphasize whatever concept and feeling. So that,
that's so
right.
cool.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah, thanks for asking about that. That's important to know.
Just yes, you're the conduit for the music, but also you said like we're humans, so it's like if it hits you, it hits you, because it's
I mean, that way you're communicating like, hey, this is really, really touching. Like
for me,
like
too.
Please also feel something like this is normal.
Yeah.
Like this is a big deal.
Heart. Sensitive.
And
not sensitive.
Yeah, and not just like, this is sad. Like
no,
you really like you want to like really convey it. And that's beautiful.
Interpreting music should be we are showing, not telling.
Yeah.
So we are not in the business of telling the word. That means nothing to me.
Right.
We want to show what it is, what it means, how it feels, what it looks like, the impact something had. Like we want to show, we don't tell, we show.
Yeah.
That's a film thing too. Show, don't tell. So it's just like,
oh really? Yeah.
Okay, so if you've been doing this since you were very young. If you could tell your younger self something, what would it be?
I would say, because I was so transient in my life growing up, I had a lot of opportunities to reinvent myself. Every 18 months, I was the new girl all my life in school.
Whoa.
Yeah.
It's like, don't wish that on anyone, but also like the benefits of having a little bit more easy time with like social mobility and stuff. Like I don't break down over opportunities like that. But I would say just never doubt your uniqueness. Don't conform to a comfortable expectation that society has created or asks of you. Don't do it, because before you know it, sooner or later, those exact qualities and traits are going to be treasured and revered and valued, and are what is going to make you amplify yourself even more in the most comfortable way, because you stayed true to who you are. I don't mean to make it be cliche, but it's honestly don't ditch your uniqueness for anyone or anything.
Yeah. And it's so important, especially for a young person, especially for a young woman to hear, honestly. So yes, I love that.
Valid. Thank you.
Perry.
Well, we're going to touch on bass a bit for us because we're based in film. So do you have any favorite movies, music, TV shows that you like? Are you hyper fixated on anything in particular at the moment as well? So
of course I love metal music because I'm a Burning Man community member. I also enjoy like the swaths of EDM choices that are out in the world right now being made. Anything that can get that booty bouncing, you know? Like yes, we love that. I also like am a big fondness for 90s rock. Got me through middle school, type
Yes.
of things.
Yeah.
Kids shows are on at my house a lot of Last Kids on Earth and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reboots. So those are, something that are I'm able to quote these days. But if I have time to myself, I do enjoy my comfort shows of Game of Thrones, Orange is the New Black, and David Attenborough animal documentaries. Do love those quite a bit. Anything with David Attenborough voiceover narration.
Yeah. Yes.
And as far as movies go, I have a few niche ones. I love SLC Punk. If either of you are familiar with SLC Punk with Matthew Lillard. Made in the early 2000s, punks in Salt Lake City just trying to come up and do it. And it's kind of a B and C roll level type of film, but a cult classic in our like punky sort of community references. Secretary with Maggie Gyllenhaal and Jason what's it, Spade. Yeah, Spade.
James Spader.
Yes. Thank you.
There we
Thank
go.
you, Spader. Thank you. Let's see.
Saw him in Crash.
Oh yeah. Fight Club is also another favorite just for the cinematography of it all.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The name is off-putting, but then it's like, oh, this is
yeah. It's got kind of a metal vibe too. Like if you imagine what metal music would be as a movie, like it's very sharp and like exciting and like intense. Yeah. So that
and
makes
that
sense.
house, there's like a bunch of those in South Minneapolis, like right now.
Yes.
So we could go visit that in real life. Yes.
Exactly.
The current Fight Club.
25.
What is this? 35 years? Whatever.
Like, where is Helena Bonham Carter?
I think so. Yeah.
That's the next remake. Just wait for it. They're doing nothing but remakes and sequels. So
I'm in.
I'm worried.
If it's got her, I'm in. Are there any? I feel like films, maybe not shows, TV shows, series, but I feel like there have been a few like more films that center around like the deaf and ASL and things like that over the last handful of years compared to historically what we've had. Are you drawn to those, or are you maybe more like, I don't necessarily want to see it in case you might catch things that are like, no, that's definitely not real. Like I'm sure like Alan's filmmaker, when he's watching films, probably like, nope, you missed that. That's not
like,
nope.
I know there's a cello scene in one of my newest films, and it's not the song that they're playing, so it's like, I know that, and I know musicians will know that who play cello, and then, but it's just kind of like, well, it's the right instrument, it's just not playing the right notes or something, that sort of thing.
Like, is there anything like that? Like, do you kind of try not to watch them because you'll catch things and you're like, that's not actually how that would go, or something like this is off, or are you drawn to them just because they're starting to amplify and like actually incorporate that?
Yes, thankfully, this day and age, there's a lot of safeguards around making sure that any ASL representation in modern day film is accurately represented or actually acted by a deaf actor, which is so important to cast deaf actors in deaf roles. Like it's kind of a duh moment, we think, right? But it never used to be that way. And if you look back in time, like, 15 plus years ago, 20 maybe, you could look back at any reference of ASL or a hard of hearing role or a deaf role of any kind, you would see it was definitely casted for a hearing person, and that hearing person spent a few mere weeks learning enough ASL for just those lines. And you can tell if you're a fluent ASL user, you go, oh, that's totally a hearing person, shoot. But this day and age, thankfully, there's a real push for the authenticity around making sure deaf people are casted in those roles. So like Switched at Birth or the movie Coda, or different roles and things. There was even at Walking Dead, there was deaf actors using sign language in Walking Dead.
Quiet Place,
Quiet Place.
I mean, love that they had the actress playing the daughter who was deaf, but also the fact that like the whole cast learned it, because obviously if you can't speak and make any noise whatsoever for the rest of eternity, you got to learn to communicate.
Yes.
So yeah, I loved that.
Yes, me too. That was such a moving film for me. Scared me to death because I'm usually scared.
Absolutely.
But like, holy cow, I loved it so much. I watched it several times.
Yeah.
Or Sound of Metal. Did you see that?
Oh, yes, Sound of Metal. Thanks for that reference. Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. Another great one.
Yeah.
Another good one. Yeah. It's a movement that's happening, and it's now become a standard, you know. Now there's deaf Broadway actors that are doing dual roles on Broadway with the hearing performer, same role, and they're doing it in tandem on stage.
Amazing.
But one is signed, one is spoken, and it's like, how beautiful.
Whoa.
That's
stunning. That's talent. Like that is so
talent.
Impressive.
Yes.
So B, you want to go do Broadway? I mean,
would love to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like a walk-on role.
That would be incredible. Man.
Yeah. In the theater world, there is a role called a DASL, which is an acronym DASL, Director of Artistic Sign Language, which is a deaf role, a deaf person who's an expert in linguistics and maybe an expert and a huge fan of Broadway, and is kind of the director for the interpreters and any deaf actors that are involved. And they are kind of like point number one for management, script dissection, practice and different things like that. A DASL is very important in the theater world of interpreting.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
All right. You sound very busy, which makes sense because there is always going to be a need for this in literally every industry, kind of like you were saying, for the rest of eternity. Is there something that you really want to do now that you haven't had the opportunity to do before, or that you've loved doing so much that you're like, this is absolutely what I want to do next on some bigger scale or something like that?
Yeah, I hope I never like peter out and like, stay stagnant, but it would be so hard to do that because I get to do so many exciting and wonderful things. It's like, oh man, I think I'm actually in it right now. Like I'm in the greatest moments of my life and my career, like right now. And it's like so cool. How could it get any better? But I do think about that. And it's professionally speaking, things I'd like to do more of. I did get the opportunity last year to be a part of a deaf cruise as an interpreter, team of 25 interpreters, 165 deaf people. Unbelievable 9-day trip in the Caribbean. And I got to provide access on and off ship. And it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And there are many, many opportunities to be a part of cruise interpreting. It's just a matter of making sure that your schedule can line up with their schedule and like getting on top of that and things. But that I would love to do more of, because in my personal desires and wishes are to travel more and be abroad. And I think, how cool would it be to just like link those two, opportunities, work and personal desire.
Absolutely.
That's definitely what I hope to do more of professionally. Now, personally, in my downtime, what I wish to do more of is I wish to start a large scale garden. To be honest, I really want to focus on food sustainability in my family. And I think that would be a big project I look forward to taking up next year. Gardening would be cool. I need some green thumb help though, for real. So looking forward.
I feel you on that. Yeah, I'm incapable, but my sister gardens and I love it. She'll be like, look at this green bean. And I'm just like, Mom gave me a plant that she said is incapable of dying and it's dead. I feel you. What's the one fruit or vegetable where you're like, this is going to be my greatest creation if I can include it in my garden? Like, what's the one thing?
What's in my, I love when I get gifted this. So this is a goal of mine too, is when I get gifted zucchinis that are the size of toddlers. You know what you do with that is one's in my fridge right now. Literally got gifted this like
that's amazing.
Like this. Yeah, and what we're doing with it, we're gonna slice it up thick and put marinara, mozzarella, little tiny pepperonis, and bake them in the cute little zucchini.
Yes.
So cute.
That's adorable. So, oh my goodness.
That's what you can do with that. Yeah, I like giant, misshapen, practical joke sized vegetables. So that's where I'm starting with that.
I'm obsessed with that. That's amazing. So great.
Yes.
Well, B, thank you for spending time with us. I guess also, where can people find your work, follow you, and support you through whatever?
Yes, you can find me all over town servicing different sectors of commerce and public and private facing entities. I work for all of the interpreting agencies in town. So if you ever need to request an interpreter, you could probably just beep, boop, boop, and pull up an interpreting agency, and chances are I am with them. I'm also available for direct contracts too, so no agency, just you and me. I implore people to think about, do you have a strong value of accessibility in the company or the organizations that you work for? Do you provide interpreters for public facing events? If not yet, please reach out. I'd love to talk to people about how to get that type of access started.
Yeah. Love that. Okay. I've got the big question, my favorite question. B, what do you want people to remember most about you?
Something I really value in myself after all the hardships of being relocated so much in my life that has now been flipped into a positive is that I am a social pollinator. My orbit of friends is niche and vast, and I guarantee I want to help connect you with someone for something. I'm a huge resource in being connected to the ASL community, and I absolutely love meeting new people all the time. I will make time for new connections all day long. So if you have something of interest, of something you need, or someone you wish to meet, or a sector of something you want to tap into, check in with a nucleus right here to see if I can help, because I really do enjoy connecting others a lot.
Wow.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that was wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us. This was fascinating and so fun. Loved getting to learn more about you and about interpreting ASL. We will include links that were talked about in the show notes. And everyone, as you're watching, as you're listening, please support the podcast. Please support B, like, subscribe, share, and B, thank you so much for your time.
Yes, thank you. Can I teach you guys 3 signs before we sign off?
Oh, yes. Okay. Oh, my goodness.
All right. Thank you. From the chin. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'll teach you the phrase, have a nice night. Okay. Have nice night. Night. Okay. Perfect. And that's a sign for perfect.
Perfect. And film maker, right?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Close.
That could be taken for an expletive, actually.
Okay, we're gonna sign off.
Film maker, not that one. But film maker.
Ooh.
Maker.
Oh, okay. That is different.
Okay.
You see the difference? Yes.
I love this. Thank you so much to everyone watching and listening. This has been a very fun episode of Film and Beyond. Well done.